Hey everybody, how's it going? In today's video, we'll talk about a bonus series. This Porsche 911 Turbo S is featured in, and that is of course under Road Collection, Season 1 subheading, since this car was introduced to us through limited series, which I forgot to upload the playthrough last year, so and the round that was in round two, and of course that just was taken out of the game. But for posterity's sake, I'll still post those videos from last year from a series that is no longer in the game. I know. So if you are curious, you can have a look at that, as I'll be posting those after I post this video. But anyway, yeah, under season 1, there it is, very first page, beautiful beasts. So the series does feature a couple of other cars. It's a 3-car series. McLaren 765 Longtail and Lamborghini Centenario LP 770-4 are the 2 companion cars. And in order to meet the 100% completion PR of 90.9, you do need this Porsche, since the other cars can't quite get anywhere near the PR requirement. So, and in terms of rewards, the 100% reward, 100% completion reward is 74 gold and 74,000 racing dollars. So, as it's all just about always the case, what you earn isn't going to be anywhere near what you will have to spend. But that's what's new, right? I know. In this splash screen, I know Centenario is in the front, like it is the top car in this series, but it isn't. So anyway, what do we have? Beautiful beast. There is no compromise between peak performance and indefectible beauty for these much coveted supercars. Right. Anyway, so it's just a 18 tier series with that features 3 cars, which means we got 3 time trials, 1 for each car. Right, first one McLaren, second one the Centenario Lambo, and the last one being the Porsche 911 Turbo S. And of course, there's accompanying showcased here, each one with the 2 races, right? So that means there are a total of 45 events, so 42 trophy events and 3 time trials. So out of the total of 74 gold rewards, first 25% completion rewards you some 9 gold and 9,000 racing dollars. So that'll require you to complete 12 events. So most likely, if you, assuming that you own all 3 cars here, if you work your way tier by tier, completing every race, tier 5 is where you will claim the first 25% completion. And then the 50% completion, you will achieve that in tier 9. So because you need to complete essentially 23 events, so you could get that complete by 22 gold trophies and still 1 time trial, right? And that 50% completion rewards you additional 14 gold and 14,000 racing dollars, and 75% completion requires you to complete 34 events. So that is gonna be taking place in tier 14, where you obviously need to win 32 gold trophies and 2 time trials. And then the reward includes additional 20 gold and 20,000 racing dollars, and of course 100% completion, well, is just that. You need to complete everything, all 3 time trials, all 42 gold trophies won, and that'll pay you the remaining 31 gold and 31,000 racing dollars. So yeah, the largest reward is reserved for that 100% completion. And in order to do that, as I said, you do need to own all 3 cars. But the one that you have to upgrade is going to be the Porsche 911. Right. So, and yeah, the PR requirement is 90.9 to 100% complete this series. And currently, they are offering, as I said, 40% off on Porsche 911 Turbo S. So if you don't own it, you can get it 40% off. Obviously, it's a double savings than your normal showcase discounts. So the car normally does cost you 725 gold. With the showcase, it brings it down to 580 gold. But with a 40% off offer that's going on right now, you bring it down to 435 gold. So saving you 290 gold. So 40% off is a good offer. And then not only does the discount offer apply to the purchase of the car, it applies to your upgrades as well. And since you're going to have to get quite a few upgrades to complete this series, PR 90.9, normally that'll cost you some 858 gold. And with a 40% off, that brings your cost to 515. So you're saving some, 343 gold there. And the car does have its own exclusive series, so I'll make a separate video for that one. But of course, the entry fee for that is you have to fully upgrade this car, which will cost you some 1158 gold. And 40% off cost is down to 695 gold. So you're saving some 463 gold. So yeah, that is more than the cost of the car itself that you're saving at the discount offer. Right. So yeah, so something to kind of keep in mind there. And so now with some numbers out here, let's check into the series itself and let's compare some specs on these cars, right? So first contender, McLaren, right? 765 Longtail. All right, so this car base PR starts at 65.8. Maxes out, as you can see, at 83.5. And yes, there is an exclusive series featuring this car as well, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Yeah, so this car has the lowest PR in this group. So 83.5, of course, a far cry from 90.9 required. And then let's jump on over to the second contender, technically, or it should be, since this car, Lambo here, even though it's positioned itself far to the right, which is make you think like that would be the car that can have the highest PR, but that's not the case. Centenario taps out at 83.8, starts at base PR 66.3. So once again, this car not quite the answer to 100% complete this series. And of course, Porsche 911 Turbo S, which this series is really dedicated to, since this car only is featured in two series, this one and the exclusive series. So not the one with the highest amount of utility. Right. So maybe that's why they're giving us 40% off discount. Anyway, now let's, so yeah, 911 base PR is 79.2. So yeah, a significantly higher PR to start off compared to its companions here. And maxes out at 92.2, as you can see here. And yes, I did take advantage of the 40% discount offer on upgrades, so I maxed it out. Anyway, all right, so first contender, McLaren 765 LT. The car is featured in 5 different series. Hybrid Horizon, which is in season 2 of the Road Collection, the new season, right? And this one, obviously, Beautiful Beasts. And then All British Battle, which is also another bonus series in the season 1. And this car's main bonus series is in Elite section, sort of the legacy part of the game, International Super Coupe Challenge, where this car is the top dog. And then, of course, as I said, the car does have its own exclusive series. So those are the 5 series this car is featured in. So, I would say that's a decent amount of utility, the usage out of this car. The car's cost is 650 gold. With the showcase discount, you can get it for 520 gold. And let's see. Yeah, I'll have all the relevant specs and the numbers related to this car in the description box below, so you guys can check out that for more information. But the car was featured in a special event, Track Day Longtail Legacy. I'll have my playthrough of that event to how I won this car in the description box below. So you guys want to find out how to do that, you guys can check that out in the description box below. Check out my other videos there. And yeah. And then let's head on over to Lambo Centenario. So this car's cost 850 gold, so a bit pricier than the McLaren. 680 gold is the showcase discount price. The car's featured in 3 different series, so not as useful. Obviously, it's featured here as a companion car, and its main series, this car, where this car is the top dog, is bonus series called Hypercar Club. You'll find it in the Legends section of the Road Collection. So once again, kind of a legacy section of the game. And yes, it does have its own exclusive series upon fully maxing out the car. And this car, we had a special event named Lamborghini's Legacy, and that's how I won this car from that special event. So I'll have the link to that playthrough playlist in the description box below as well. So if you're curious, check that out. And here, finally, the main car that we got that recently, the limited series to win this car has been taken out of the game. I'm sure they'll bring it back at some point, but for the time being, 40% off is the best you're gonna get. Only featured in this bonus series, as I said, and the exclusive series. And yeah, so in order to meet the PR requirement, what you're gonna need is you're gonna have to let's see, just about a pretty typical upgrade scheme, right? So you need to get just about every upgrade on this car installed, except the last drivetrain you don't need, and the last suspension you don't need. So except for those 2 upgrades, you need to get everything else, which is gonna, yes, cost you a hefty chunk, 858 gold. But as I said, with the 40% off, that cost comes down to 515. So 40%, what can I say, is a good offer. Anyway, so now let's compare some specs, what these 3 cars are like. So obviously there's a huge gap in PR between the Porsche and the other 2, but we'll see how it actually plays in terms of the actual specs, right? So top speed for McLaren 373, top speed for Porsche 373, so they're identical there. And Centenario actually has a significantly higher top speed, 386. Right. So when it comes down to like a speed record, Centenario might be the car that comes out ahead of the in this group. Now, taking a look at the next spec, acceleration, right? 2.32 seconds for McLaren, 2.24 seconds for Porsche, so it's got definite edge. And the Centenario not far behind, 2.28 seconds. So yeah, between Lambo and Porsche, that's pretty close. All right, now the next spec in the list, braking distance, 24.4 meters for McLaren, 23.2 meters for Porsche. So that's okay, better. Here, Lamborghini this fall kind of behind, 26.5 meters, so a little bit softer brakes. So that's where it's kind of gonna be lacking. But I mean, speed record type of events, you wouldn't care much about that. You know what I mean? And the last spec is gonna be the grip. So 1.6 G for McLaren, 1.6 G for Porsche, and then 1.62 G for Centenario. So the question is, why does Porsche have such significantly higher PR than the other two when the specs are so close together? Yeah, I don't have an answer for you other than the fact that they just needed this car to somehow be the top one in this group. Yeah, the line. Yeah, I mean, braking distance discrepancy wouldn't account for nearly like 8 PR point gap between the Lambo and Porsche. You know what I mean? This is yeah, hard to justify. But so, despite the big difference in PR, what do you know? In terms of their performance, they are actually much closer in their performance, because just looking at PR, you would think the Porsche would blow out the other two, out of the water. But that is not going to be the case here. Interesting. All right. Anyway, so now let's go through the series itself and check out what types of events we would be faced with. Maybe we find some long format race. I doubt it, actually. But anyway, Tier 1. We got Autocross at Nürburgring Grand Prix, which is one of the longer autocrosses. Then we got Elimination at Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. And then Cup to get through Tier 1 is going to be at Silverstone Grand Prix. 2 laps. Of course, Tier 1, there is no PR requirement. Heading on over to Tier 2, we got head-to-head at Catalunya Club. And just a quick single lapper there. And then Endurance at Bugatti Circuit. So your distance target may vary. And then the Cup to get through Tier 2 is taking place at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. PR 68.3 is required. So with the McLaren and Lambo, you're going to need some upgrades. But obviously with the Porsche, this is way below. It's even base PR. Base PR for Porsche is 79.2. So anyway, it's going to be a 2-lap Cup. And that takes us to the Tier 3, where we got a speed snap at Hockenheim Short, followed by a drag race taking place at Leipzig Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuit. And the Cup for Tier 3 is at Nürburgring Grand Prix. So this is sort of a German tier. And the PR requirement is 69.5 to enter this 2-lap Cup at Nürburgring. All right, that takes us to the first showcase tier, showcasing McLaren 765 Longtail. We got the 2 companion races, one autocross at Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit, and the other Cup at Spa. It's going to be a 2-lap Cup. Of course, no PR requirement to get through the showcase tier. And accompanying time trial for McLaren is going to take place at Monza Road Course. Continuing on, Tier 6, what do we have? We got Endurance at Catalunya Grand Prix and Speed Snap at Hockenheim Short. And the Cup at Melbourne, this one PR 62.5 for the 5-lap Cup. All right, continuing on, Tier 7. We got Hunter at Dubai National, so that's a quick full lap. Followed by Autocross at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. It's an autocross, and Red Bull Ring isn't terribly large to begin with, so, this shouldn't take too long. And the Cup for Tier 7 is going to be at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. PR 73.5 required for this 3-lap Cup, so a little bit lengthier. All right. And Tier 8, we got Speed Snap at Suzuka Grand Prix. And yeah, that's starting right before the hairpin, right after that bridge underpath, and then ends before the big parabolica section. And the endurance is gonna take place at Monza Road Course, and the Cup for Tier 8 is gonna be down in Florida, Daytona Motorcycle Course. PR 747 is what's required, 74.7 for this 4-lap Cup with rolling start, as it is always the case for Daytona races. And the Tier 9 is the second showcase, this one featuring Lamborghini Centenario. And for that, we got elimination at Hockenheim Grand Prix and a Cup at Dubai International. And that's going to be a 3-lap Cup at Dubai. And accompanying time trial for Lambo is going to be at Catalunya Grand Prix. All right, moving on. Tier 11, we got Speed Snap at Melbourne, Hunter at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, and the 24-hour Circuit Cup. 74.7 once again is the PR requirement for this 3-lap Cup at Le Mans. So that is pretty lengthy. All right. And that takes us to Tier 12. All right, we got Endurance at Spa, Autocross at Berlin, and the Cup at Hockenheim Grand Prix. PR 77.4 required for this 4-lap Cup. Yeah, 3-lap Le Mans is still going to be the longest race here in this series. And the Tier 13, we got Speed Snap at Silverstone National, Elimination at Laguna Seca, and the Cup at Suzuka Grand Prix. PR 79.2 required for this 4-lap Cup in Japan. And then that takes us to the final showcase tier featuring Porsche 911 Turbo S. And events are, we got Hunter at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, and the Cup at Porsche Test Track Long On-Road Circuit. It's going to be a 4-lap Cup. And the accompanying time trial is going to be at Dubai International Circuit. All right. That takes us to Tier 16. We got Autocross at Mount Panorama, and the Speed Snap at Laguna Seca, and the Cup is going to be at Silverstone National. PR 79.2 is required for this. I was going to say, better be high lap count. It's going to be a 10-lapper, but Silverstone National is pretty short. So, yeah, there's that. And the Tier 17, we got Speed Record at Monza Junior Course. So that's a short lap, followed by a Hunter at Melbourne. That's also a short lap. And the Cup for Tier 17 is going to be in Texas, Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit. PR 86.1 is required. And yeah, so this is a big gap in the PR requirement, isn't it? So Tier 17 is where the Lambo and McLaren falls off the cliff, unable to participate, but obviously Porsche gets to carry on. It's going to be a 5-lap Cup. So that's a decent length, but I still think 3 laps at Le Mans is going to be the longer one. And that takes us to the final tier, tier 18, where we find Elimination at Dubai International, Endurance at Suzuka Grand Prix, and the Final Cup at Daytona Road Course. PR 90.9 is required for the 6-lap Rolling Start Cup. And just to recap, PR 90.9 only achievable with Porsche here. And you will have to shell out some 858 gold to get there. But with the, if you can spare, I guess, some 515 gold right now, then you can take advantage of that 40% discount offer to get basically max out the car except for drivetrain and suspension, where you don't need that last stage 4 gold upgrades on those two categories. Anyway, that will do it for this series overview video covering beautiful beasts. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care.